Good evening, everybody. This is Pooja Arora with Media and Entertainment Skills Council, welcoming you all on behalf of Creative Warriors online programs powered by विद्यादान विद्यादान और क्रिएटिव वॉरियर के जरिए आपके पास हम बहुत बहुत सारे सेशंस और सीजन्स लेके आए हैं। एक सीरीज जो चल रही है पिछले 3 महीने से, विच इज immunity and strength. Immunity and strength, yes, that's one thing जिसको लेकर अभी सब फोकस्ड हैं। कोरोना चला गया एंड अभी वापस कुछ स्ट्रेन्स आए हैं। इसके साथ एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन बनता है कि हाउ एंड व्हाई, how we can stay strong and fight this time, and how and why is this troubling us so much, and how the life of a sportsman is getting impacted, and how they try not to get this disease, and still they anyway sportsmen are fighters. So आज हमारे साथ एक और बहुत ही wonderful session है with the same topic, immunity and strength, episode 3. It's really an ultimate key. Today, we have a session with 3 of our wonderful guests. Nowadays, we are more motivated, and today, let's invite the Golden Girl, international shooting champion, and Arjuna Awardee winner, Ms. Anju Mudgil, a young and a very, very beautiful 26 years old girl. She won a silver medal in women's 50-meter rifle 3 position event at ISSF World Cup in Mexico. At CWG, yes, Commonwealth Games, she secured a silver medal, scoring 455.7 points, achieving 151.9 in kneeling and 157.1 in prone. In the qualification round, she broke the CWG qualifying record, by a significant margin. Ms. Mudgil scored 589. Yes, she completed her master's in sports psychology, and apart from being a sports person, she's an avid abstract artist. She sold many of her artworks. Anju Mudgil ji, we welcome you here on the Vidyadan platform. Thank you so much for accepting our request to be here.
Thank you, Pooja. And I would like to thank Vidyadan for, having me here and giving me opportunity to speak today.
Thank you. Let's invite other speakers as well. We have Dr. Sadbir ji with us. He was here with us when we had Milkha Singh sir, the legend, with us as well. He's a sports medicine consultant at Cosmo Hospital, an ex-Indian hockey team physician cum exercise psychologist. Dr. Singh is also an ex-BCCI specialist, academy rehab head. He is an international master trainer and at ACE, American Council of Exercise, and a director consultant sports. Welcome, sir, on this platform. We also have our very own Sardar Yadvinder Singh ji, a former national athlete, chief athletic coach for Skechers Go Run Club. He's also a general secretary for Master Athletic Federation of India in Chandigarh. He has trained many celebrities and many sports personalities. Welcome you all here on this platform. So as we have, Yadvinder sir, may I request you to turn on your video, please? As we have our golden girl here, at such a young age, you have given so much proud to the country, and going with the flag on the stage and getting that national anthem when you win something is, I think it's I can't even imagine, because I could never achieve it. But how is that feeling?
Surely, I think whenever we win a medal for India, we surely see the national flag going high, and also the national anthem is played. So I think that's one of the best feelings an athlete gets gets to experience throughout their careers, and it just gives us goosebumps, and I think that's something that keeps us motivated to, keep working hard every day and then just go and represent this beautiful nation.
Wonderful. So with this, let's start the session. I really wanted to ask this question. So even that I started with this one. So Anjum ji, we'd like to know about your journey. कैसे start हुआ? How, like a shooter, मतलब कैसे सूझा going in this sport?
Yeah, so मेरे मम्मी ने अपने स्कूल टाइम पे, अपने कॉलेज टाइम पे वो एनसीसी में थे, एंड देन थ्रू एनसीसी she got an opportunity to try out shooting sport. So that's how she introduced me to NCC, and took me to the shooting range जो सेक्टर 25 में है चंडीगढ़ में. एंड देन उस तरीके से उन्होंने मुझे इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया विद जस्ट मेकिंग मी सी हाउ द वेपन्स आर एंड हाउ शूटिंग इज हैपनिंग. So but जब मैंने when I was in 8th standard and then I joined NCC, I got an opportunity to go and attend the shooting camp. So that's how I started shooting properly, and then उसमें different levels थे जो qualify करके I reached the national level and then international level after a couple of years. So that's how I started.
Wonderful, because 8th standard जब आप बोल रहे हैं इस टाइम पे नॉर्मली बच्चे ये सोच रहे होते कि वीकेंड पे क्या करना है. And you actually took up your career. Wonderful. Doctor, so I have a question for you. Why fitness is important for every individual, even in day-to-day life? Abhi we have a sports personality with us, but जो COVID वापस आ गया है, and you know how things are moving. It's, although we wish कि ये छोटा chapter हो and जल्दी खत्म हो जाए. What is the importance and where are we lagging?
See, there are various things to it. First, the importance of exercise and nutrition, and we want to link it to the immunity first. Now, any exercise session will definitely boost your immunity, but at the same time, there is a question to it. If you involve yourself in a very acute, high intensity, vigorous session lasting more than 1 to 2 hours, then the individual goes into a post window session, or rather an open window session. And that what happens is that your immunity for about 48 hours in the post the recovery period is decreased, and that's the time when you're most susceptible to illness. And later on it becomes normal and you have an enhanced immunity. But if you are exercising anywhere below this range, that is mild to moderate intensity exercise for about 75 to 150 minutes a week in any form, whether it's cycling, jogging, swimming, any outdoor sports, then your immunity is definitely boosted. The stress hormones levels are low. The inflammatory markers are not very high. The stress hormones are not released. Rather, there is a reduction in the stress hormones in response to exercise. So, while you're exercising, the general population right now I'm talking about, so mild to moderate activity 4 to 5 times a week, less than 60 minutes, will definitely boost your immunity. And if it is combined with a healthy nutrition, if you're taking a lot of antioxidants, fruits and vegetables, then it goes together and definitely boosts your immunity. And the current times of COVID, definitely you will have lesser impact and it will take you a long way.
So somehow ये immunity strong होना, अगर हमारा nation का immunity individuals का सबका strong रहता तो शायद हम लोग और अच्छे से fight कर पाते और ये second strain तक ना पहुंचते.
See, if you compare with the other countries like the US, the death rate in our country has been very low, and that is because the immunity of our people is very high. Okay. And yes, lower the immunity, the worse will be the results. Something what you saw in US, right? So, but still, there are two types of immunity. Now, if you talk about immunity, there is one is innate immunity, which is natural and acquired, which is because of the basic defense systems. And then you have acquired immunity. Acquired immunity is through the repeated mild infections which you keep on getting at various stages of a life, and then they boost your immune system. It's in response. So in our country, the conditions are such, and we keep getting exposed to various things, across the country at various stages of our life. So that somewhere has boosted our immunity, and that is coming and holding us in good stead, these days.
Great. So कुछ benefit ही हुआ हमें इन सब चीजों का.
You can say that.
तो यादवेंद्र सर, बीइंग एन एथलेटिक कोच, अभी हमारे साथ शूटिंग स्टार है अंजुम जी, ठीक है, एंड एक आपके साथ लेमैन है जिसको एक्सरसाइज का ई भी नहीं पता, दैट इज मी. तो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? हाउ डू यू कोच a star, a sports personality, and a general human being, a, or anyone, I'd say? Is there a difference, or is it the same thing that goes for all of us?
या मैडम, बेसिकली जो है, जैसे यू आर द बिगनर्स, तो स्टार्टिंग में हमारे को उनको बेसिक वार्म अप एक्सरसाइज, जनरल एक्सरसाइज, कंडीशनिंग एक्सरसाइज, साइकिलिंग, जॉगिंग, स्कीपिंग, इससे हमें उनको शुरू करना है. एंड जो प्रोफेशनल एथलीट है लाइक कुंजुम या जो इंटरनेशनल एथलीट्स हैं, उनका प्रोफेशनल ट्रेनिंग शेड्यूल है, उनका प्रोफेशनल मॉड्यूल है, उनके अकॉर्डिंगली उनकी ट्रेनिंग अलग है. जो बिगनर्स है उनको स्टार्टिंग में स्टार्ट से ही उनको वार्म अप एक्सरसाइज, स्ट्रेचिंग, योगा, इससे उनको शुरू करना है, स्लो एंड स्टडी.
So, ma'am, Anju, ma'am, you are, I'll say I'm at a beginner level, but being a lot younger than me, you are on some very, very high professional level. What's your fitness regime?
First of all, age doesn't matter. It's not like I'm younger and I'm at a different level than you. So you were completely in a different field. You're doing good there. I'm good, doing good in my field. So I think age doesn't matter. And yeah, so like Yadvinder sir said, we have different routine, different related to our sports. Footballers have different routine. Cricketers have different. For shooters, it's mainly working on the endurance and strength to stand for around 3 to 4 hours in a stretch, and then shoot at a very pinpoint target. So I think for us it's mainly working on our strength, endurance, and then balance, stability. I think that are the things that are really important for any shooter. So that's what we work on. So it is divided throughout the week. Some days we do cardio, some days we do the stability exercises. So it happens throughout. It's nothing is fixed. So for me, working out is like I should enjoy it. So it's not just one thing. It's not like running every day. It's not like doing weights every day. So it is actually maybe in the morning I'll go for a light run, and in the evening I'll do some weight training, or like that. So it's very different from other sports. But yeah, we surely really need a lot of working out in our sport as well.
So when you've said standing for 3 to 4 hours, when you are shooting, yes, I have seen that people are standing, there's a point given and you are shooting from there, and you have some distance where you have to target. Is it like you actually stand for that long at that specific place and waiting for your turn?
No, we're not waiting for our turn. It totally depends on which event we are shooting. There are many events in shooting. So one to start with, basically there is one rifle, one pistol, and then one shotgun. And then in rifle we have different events. One is 10 meters, 50 meters, and then different in pistol. So like for 10-meter events, we have a match in which we, have to stand for around 1.5 hours and shoot 60 shots, in 10 meters. And in 50 meters, there's a event, a 3-position event, in which we have to play the match for 3 hours. And the match, consists of shooting in lying position, like we're lying down on a mat and shooting 40-50 shots. And then we're kneeling down on one knee and then shooting 60 shots. And then we are standing and shooting the 40 record shots. So that's how the match goes. So it's all the different events. Some have like less time, some take a lot of time. So yeah, it's like that. It's all the technical thing about shooting.
But the one common thing is focus, right?
I think focus is required in every field and every sport and everything you do. So yeah, that is the basic of everything.
Yeah, that is the base of everything. Wonderful. With this, हमने अभी अंजुम ने बिल्कुल ठीक बोला कि अंजुम जी ने बिल्कुल ठीक बोला कि focus is going to be the core for everything. चाहे आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, चाहे आप स्पोर्ट्स में हो, चाहे आप किसी भी फील्ड में हो, इवन आप एक कंप्यूटर पे प्रेजेंटेशन या कुछ डेटा का काम कर रहे हो, focus has to be there. Now, to stay focused, your nutrition plays a very important role. So, Doctor, I'd like to ask you, do you, as an expert, do you give a different nutritional diet, or say, is there a different nutritional requirement of a layman and a sports personality?
See, the basic principles remain the same, but then we have to change it according to the exercise sessions and the training phase in which you are going, whether you are in off season or competition season, and depending upon the individual requirements, we make changes. Like, let's say, carbohydrate, protein, and fat requirements. Now, general requirement for carbohydrates about 40 to 65%, and protein is about 15 to 20%, and again 15 to 25% of the fat. But these have to again vary based upon a body composition. So in case I find one of my athlete who's very slow, okay, so what I'll do is I'll reduce his carb concentration and increase his percentage of fiber and proteins, simultaneously decreasing the fat. So that will achieve the target for me, because too much of carb, they actually slow you down. So like that, we play with the variables and achieve an individualized meal plan for the athlete. But by and large, the major basic components of nutrition, they remain the same.
Sorry, I was on mute. Basic composition of nutrition will remain the same, except for the critical things that you take care of. Is there a critical thing that even an athlete, a coach also look for?
See, athletes can, depending upon your sport, they can undergo a lot of things, like sports like football, hockey, you're likely to run into, dehydration, depending upon the weather conditions. So you have to take care of their water and electrolyte requirements. So you have to measure and find out, how much an athlete needs. Accordingly, we make their, drinks and their, energy drinks based upon the sodium carbohydrate composition. So all these things are, these are at a higher level, when you're working with athlete. Anju must be knowing all this very well. Though in her sport, the role of, lots of fluid and electrolyte balance is not there, but still you need to have a balance. So otherwise in other sports, we are working at a very, particular level where we take care of these small little things.
Right. So, and similarly, Yadvinder, so any of your opinion on this when as a coach?
Yeah, of course, Dr. Sabir actually बिल्कुल ठीक बोल रहे हैं. इसमें different जितने भी sports है, like athletics है, athletics is a mother of every game, athletics होगी, football होगी, इनके लिए diet जो प्रोफेशनल लेवल पे ट्रेनिंग करते हैं, जो इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे ट्रेनिंग करते हैं, उनके डाइट शेड्यूल अलग होता है. जनरल डाइट तो होती है, लेकिन उनको प्रोटीन, कार्ब, फैट, उनको अलग लेवल पे उनको लेके जाना, उनको परफॉर्मेंस के लिए उनकी डाइट का शेड्यूल ही अलग होता है, टोटली डिफरेंट होता है, जैसे कि डॉक्टर सतबीर जी ने बताया.
ओके, अंजुम, I'd like to know, आपका एक 2020 में इवेंट होने वाला था, which got postponed because of this COVID situation. So how, what was the feeling when you got to know that? I'm sure you must have been very excited for the event, and then it got postponed. And how did you cope up with this duration of COVID and this events changing time?
So yeah, I mean, when the lockdown happened, in March 2020, it was something very new, because it was the first time we heard anything like that, and our World Cup in Delhi got cancelled. That was to be happening in March. So that was, like I said, it was really new. So we just, came back home, and it was, I don't know, it was like a much needed break that was required, because since I've started shooting and playing for India, we don't really have a very long off season. So it's mainly, just playing tournaments, either for international or in domestic competitions. So yes, I just took it really positively and, utilized that break for good recovery, for good physical training, and focusing on minute details of shooting. So that's how I did throughout the lockdown. And when more competitions got cancelled, we knew somehow that the Olympics will be postponed, because seeing the cases rising in Europe and everywhere in US, so we knew that the games will not be happening, because no one would be coming to participate. So we were mentally prepared for that, and it just we just took it positively, that we have enough like 1 year now to prepare more, and to be much more fitter, and be ready to just go out and play any competition that comes, because there was no competition happening. So yeah, we have a World Cup now in Delhi, in March. So I think that's the first international we'll be playing after 1 year. And we're really looking forward to it. So now we are just preparing for Tokyo and being on our top, top, what would we say, fitness levels. Mentally, we're just being top. We're just being fit enough to just go and play for India whenever the opportunity is there, because you never know, the cases are rising again, what happens. But we'll be having our preparations in full go.
So luckily, the blessing in disguise, if I'd say.
Yeah.
You got extra time and extra time, of course, energy also to prepare. When you spend time with your family, you of course get re-energized.
Yeah.
So similarly, sir, आप sports के you do it for teams. तो आपकी teams में भी सबको everybody got to practice more, or did you find people actually getting lazy?
Pooja ji, we are right now in the middle of a tournament. I'm right now with the Punjab senior cricket team, and we are at Indore in the middle of a tournament.
Wow.
See, sports has never been the same again. We have, in the last 2 months, we have completed 2 tournaments. First was the interstate T20 competition of BCCI. That was in Bangalore and Ahmedabad. And now we are at Indore doing the one-day team. Now, we have to create and maintain a bio bubble wherein we're not supposed to go anywhere. We're not supposed to meet anybody. We have so many restrictions, absolute isolation. We go from the room to the ground and back and nothing else. So mentally, it's very challenging. For an athlete, it becomes very difficult at sometimes. Initial 6 days of quarantine before each tournament. Now, in this quarantine at Indore this time, I remember one of our very strong players who plays for IPL team also. He was a little upset. He was like, "Sir, meri kal sham ki flight kara do and I'm going back. No, I can't take it anymore." So you have to be mentally very strong. And these are not very normal circumstances. But yes, to prevent the sports and the athletes, we have to go through it if we want to play. And every athlete ultimately wants to play and continue with this game. So good that we are able to create a good bio bubble and continue with the tournaments.
Wonderful. As an athletic coach, sorry, I think so. You, Yadvinder, so you must have faced these challenges also of the lockdown.
Yeah, madam. Of course, madam. बिकॉज जैसे हमारी शाम मॉर्निंग और इवनिंग में प्रैक्टिस होती थी, तो अब उस लेवल की प्रैक्टिस भी नहीं हो रही है. एक टाइम की प्रैक्टिस हो रही है, उसमें भी सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग और पार्टिसिपेंट्स भी बहुत कम आ रहे हैं. पेरेंट्स भी बच्चों को भेजने में इतराते हैं, तो प्रैक्टिस भी उस लेवल की नहीं हो रही है.
सो अभी आप तीनों से मैं एक ही क्वेश्चन पूछूंगी. इसके बाद डू यू सी, बिकॉज कई लोग ने किया काम, practice करते रहे, or somehow they were able to cope up with their mind and stay away from the panics of COVID, mentally. But few people actually got traumatized that no, don't go out, no, it's very dangerous, and still it stays in their mind that no is still there. Being a sports star, Anju Mudgilji, do you see that happening? Do you see how what changes do you see in sports coming up in 2021?
Like Sadhbir sir said, we also had camps starting from October, November, and then, we had 3-4 months. We had 3-4 camps, like a month-long camps. So we also, were in a bio bubble, did quarantine for 7 days, and then getting, corona test every other month. So we have already done like around 15 tests. So it's just like a very common thing for us now to get all the tests done. But being an athlete, we know we have to be, this is an Olympic year. We have to participate in competitions. We have to play for India. So we are just getting used to it. And for me, like, it's easier that I, like in quarantine, it's very difficult to stay in one room for 7 days, not meet anyone, and you just can't go out physically. You just want to maybe just go for a run quick, but you can't. So that's when you can actually, be a bit creative and, think about stuff you can do while just staying in the room. You can just work out, you can rest well, like for me, I painted. So that's something I used to do when I was in quarantine. So over the couple of months, I think will be the situation, and it's just how positively you can just take it rather than just thinking ki mere saath hi kyun ho raha hai, ya why should I do this. It's just happening all over the world, and it's an experience. Sports is all about experiences. Yeah, I think it's all about, everything is about learning and going ahead and sorting out that mistakes. So for me, I just taking it as a very different experience for my in my lifetime. So I'm just taking positively, and I think being mentally positive is something that is really required right now.
Sir, आपके हिसाब से क्या, what is the most required thing to do? Like Anjum said it very correctly, being mentally fit and stable is required. Yes.
See, once you are in the quarantine or when you have a lot of time to yourself, you are in hotels, what you can do is you can practice some mental imagery, like wherein you can visualize yourself on the field and competitions taking place and how you're going to handle it or go about it. Or you can think of your past beautiful, best.
I think sir got freezed. Yadvinder sir, can we move to you?
म्यूट हो गए हैं सर, का आवाज नहीं आ रही। जीवन
जी, आपके हिसाब से क्या सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है इस टाइम?
मैडम, सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है कि जो
As Anju said, we can have a couple of your hobbies you can practice in a room. If you can listen to music, or if you can do some arting or art or painting, something like that. So you'll have to keep yourself occupied and be positive and don't let it bog you down.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Art and poetry and music. Ms. Anjum Mudgil is not just a sports star, she's an artist as well. An abstract artist, and she has also sold many artwork. How does that go? Like an artist and a sports personality into shooting. Shooting is considered to be a very, very strict kind of, I think, if maybe correct me if I'm wrong, we as a layman, we consider it to be a strict person's job. We think that, okay, somebody who knows shooting is going to be very, very strict and strong, but an artist is considered to be soft and mellow down. So how is that matched in one girl?
So I think it's all about in the perception, because I don't think the shooters are like something to be very strict about or serious ki hame bas goliyan chalani. No, we are just athletes, and we play a sport called shooting. And then if your personality doesn't matter, you have to be just calm enough to handle your emotions and just be focused and concentrated well when you are at the lane and shooting. Apart from that, whatever you do, you're just a human, and sports is part of your life. You have to actually see what all you can do in your life. It's just not one thing, shooting or any just one sport. So that's why when I started painting, it gave me a thing like a meditation sort of a thing, because I used to be in that movement, be in the zone, just painting. I would not think about shooting. It gave me time to switch off my mind from shooting. So that gave me good recovery, and the calmness I need for shooting, it came from painting. So, and when we come back from our training and then do physical in the evening, just to rest a bit, I would just paint something. So that would give me a sense of calmness. And also after I complete a good painting, it gives happiness. And then if I gift it to someone, it's again that makes someone happy. So that's the reason I've been painting for a couple of years now. And yeah, during the lockdown, I've sold my paintings to help the people who are in need, and put all my paintings for auction to donate all the money for different causes. So I think it just utilizing and exploring yourself as much as you can at a young age, so that maybe after your career what else you can do. So it's just exploring that.
So that's a combination of a profession and the personal thing, right? The balance between, because
I think that is very important. Sometimes you can just be frustrated by the pressure of sports, or there's too much that an athlete has to give, but then you should have that thing that you can get back to and get something that relaxes your mind. So it's just anything. It can be anything. People can dance, sing. It can be anything for anyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you share one journey where you have faced this trouble, of pressure or anything that actually released your stress by painting or anything, any instance where you were actually stressed because of something, if you'd like to share with students, a live experience kind of.
Yeah, so I mean, being an athlete, stress and pressure is just part of a daily routine. So it's nothing new. Just we should know how to handle it properly. I think pressure and stress, not stress, but pressure is really important for anyone. You should just know how to handle it and work for your benefit. So for me, I remember during the Commonwealth Games, I had two events. So my first event went really bad. I had a problem in my weapon and then I couldn't figure it out. And I shot really bad and I was, bottom, second last or something like that. So that day, I just got back, listened to music, read a book, did a small painting, and I was just all by myself. I did not want to talk to anyone. I was really, really sad that day because I was really prepared. But then due to some reason, I couldn't shoot well. And next day I had my three position match. I just wanted all that focus to be properly stay inside that I lost that day. So I used all that sadness and everything to build up that focus and concentration and that will to get back the next day. And the next day I've never been so focused in my entire life. The like jitna main us din thi. So I went on to win a Commonwealth Games medal and then also shot a Commonwealth Games record. So that is something that has helped me that day. So that is one experience to share.
Wonderful. Isko mein, if I will take it in my words, I'll say this is one experience that you're sharing, which actually can be for anyone. Like never give up thing, because you did not give up on that first day. You could reach the heights. And yes, media and entertainment fields are as such that they eases your mind, be it painting, music, art, designing, anything. If I can request such experiences from Dr. Sadbir as well. He must have seen people experiencing that, right?
See, ma'am, personally speaking, I'm not a very emotional guy. I'm very, machine kind of thing, very fixed routines, and focus on my job, that kind of a thing. But yes, in sports, you get lots of highs and lows, There'll be times, you've seen sportsmen, there'll be times when you're doing very well. There'll be times when you're, not at the best of your capacity. So that is a time when you have to, control your composure, regroup yourself, speak to yourself, and redesign and come back stronger. And this is the only key to international sports persons, Otherwise, rest of them who can't do this, they generally fade away and they're out of the national reckoning. So this is a very important thing because every day is not the same. Something somewhere may go wrong. It does go wrong, like Anju was also saying. So if you have to be able to handle that pressure, regroup yourself, and come back stronger, like Anju did in the Commonwealth Games. Those who can't do it will not be able to survive at the international arena.
Okay. Your experience, sir?
Yeah, mera tha madam experience when I was competing with Carl Lewis in 1984-86 in Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, Asian Track and Field Meet. कार्ल लुइस मेरे साथ ही था और मैं 100 मीटर फाइनल में था और मैं बहुत नर्वस था उस वक्त. तो मैंने कहा था कार्ल लुइस के साथ फर्स्ट टाइम मैं भाग रहा हूँ, इज ओलंपियन चैंपियन. सो बहुत ज्यादा थोड़ा घबराया हुआ, लेकिन फिर मैंने अपने आप को थोड़ा होल्ड किया. कार्ल लुइस कोई बात नहीं, भागना अपने बेस्ट देना है. तो मैंने उसके साथ भागा और मेरा आई थिंक 4th या 5th प्लेस मेरी पड़ी थी. कार्ल लुइस फर्स्ट था विद द टाइम ऑफ 9.996 सेकंड. मेरा अपना 100 मीटर का बेस्ट टाइम गया था 10.6 सेकंड जूनियर एशियन ट्रैक एंड फील्ड में दिल्ली 1986-84 में. सो ये गुड पावर अपनी रखनी है, अपना बेस्ट भागना है. बस आपने जो किया अपना सारा फोकस देना है कि मैंने आज अपना बेस्ट रेस भागनी है.
ओके, वंडरफुल. सो एक इसी के साथ हमने थोड़ा थोड़ा एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया, थोड़ा थोड़ा इम्यूनिटी स्ट्रेंथ के बारे में जानने की कोशिश करी और थोड़ा सा ज्यादा हमने कोशिश करा कि हम एक शूटिंग स्टार को समझ सके. मतलब जैसा एक्सपीरियंस हमें लगता था एज एन आउटसाइडर, मिलके लग रहा है कि नो, इट्स एन a general, that feeling you get from meeting a person, in-person meeting. And a very, very gentle human being with no that strictness of shootings. Because even when we see the pictures of your sport, please don't mind, we get it like a strict image. No, that's there. So that's one side. But on the other side, there is a mellow down heart and a very, very down to earth personality sitting next to me. Now, I'll not take your time because I know you all are very, very busy. I'll go with last two questions from three of you. What is your suggestion to our students who are watching, the generation who's actually in 13, 14 years, jinko school se kind of online mode mein they got shifted very early, and everything is going online, and somehow this has given them a device which can distract them very easily, the mobile phones, the tablets, and the laptops. What's your suggestion for them so they succeed in life?
Okay, I'll go first.
Yes.
So I think yes. First of all, I would answer. Like you said, we the shooters look very strict. It's just because it's a sport in which we can't show our emotions as such outside, because we can't shout on a shooting range like maybe footballers can just have that aggression. We just have to stay calm and have all the emotions under control, be it anger or happiness. We just can't, we just have that control our emotions. That is the best part about shooting. Yeah, so for the younger athletes, the younger people, whoever is watching, I think, yes, for them, this online world is something that has been, maybe will be, very fascinating. And it's so easy to just, log on to a device and do your stuff. But I feel it's the responsibility of the elders and the parents to, keep watch on the number of minutes you give your kids the device, or maybe even for the athletes or anyone having the device as far as you for longer time is really beneficial, be it for your eyes, for your brain, or for general recovery and everything. So I think just having that proper balance between being physically active and active on a device is should be taken care of. So I think the individual should understand the pros and cons of this device, and what all can be done online and what's really important to do offline. So yeah, I think the balance is really important.
And that understanding has to be there along with the responsibility of elders, the parents or the siblings. So your suggestion on this, because does that hamper their nutrition or as well? Like,
See, that's two, three things to it. If they're spending too much time on it, yes, definitely not good. You need to have some kind of physical activity in any form. You have to add it. Now, parents have a very important role, and even teachers have a very important role to educate the children about it, because they do not understand. They just they think it's it's a toy, it's something to have fun of. But then if you tell them that there are a lot of good things about it, I see a lot of good things about the media and about the electronic gadgets which are there. So it's on you, whether you want to take out the best out of it, the worst out of it. Like you can see a lot of good, excellent videos of the previous competitions, previous Olympics, previous Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, recordings, and you can learn a lot. At the same time, you can go and play some mind-based kind of a game and keep wasting your time. So it depends upon you, what do you want to take out of it. And secondly, I just want to convey and send a message to the youth that all these sportsmen, national, international, they're all human beings. If they can do it, you can also do it. You have to have self-belief and work hard. Okay. And remember, they are all human beings. They can perform one day very well, and another day, it can happen that they might lose. So, but they are still our heroes, okay? Whether they win or lose, please don't vent your ire on them, and don't demean them one odd day when they happen to lose. They'll always be our international stars, and please treat them accordingly.
wonderful, wonderful message. Seriously, you have to take responsibility of what you are doing with your time. If you are as a teenager, we understand you also have that level of maturity that you understand that this is waste of time and this is actually usage of time. And you're the last thing that you need to respect the athletes. I'm 100% sure, sir. There might be any very few people who would do that, but I think all our youth, they respect all these sports stars a lot. And my kiddos also, they are like, wow, they're standing with a flag. It's like wonderful. Once, even if you have achieved it once in your life, you are a star for the country. Yes. And with this, I'd really like to wish all our stars, all our, if I not call them stars, our champions, our heroes, that yes, you guys make us proud when you work hard and win, and when you have that play our Indian flag raising with the national anthem. That's the pleasure our we audience get when you win. Yadvinder sir, what's your take on it as an athletic person?
डॉक्टर सतबीर जी ने बताया, बहुत अच्छा उन्होंने एग्जांपल दिया, एंड अंजुम जी ने भी सेम, मेरा भी यही परसेप्शन है कि इनके बेनिफिट्स भी हैं और साइड इफेक्ट्स भी हैं। इसको आप किस तरीके, किस नजरिए से आप इसको लेके चलते हैं। इसमें जैसे डॉक्टर सतबीर ने बताया, इसमें डिफरेंट गेम्स हैं, उसमें आप देख सकते हैं, अपने आप को मोटिवेट कर सकते हैं, देख सकते, लेकिन नेगेटिविटी भी है। ये हमारे पेरेंट्स को, हमारे एल्डर्स को ही चाहिए कि वो बच्चों को शुरू से ही ऐसी हैबिट और ऐसी आदत डालें ताकि वो उसी लाइन, उसी ट्रैक पे चले।
Yes, absolutely. So उसी लाइन, उसी ट्रैक पे एक ट्रैक का नजरिया देना होता है. Anjum was very lucky that her mother took her to the shooting range and gave her that vision, right? But everyone is not. What is one source that you can suggest people or the younger generation to avoid, to get defocused in their life?
One source?
As in there is a distraction of games, not the mobile phone games. I'll not even call that distraction because I'm from the industry where where mobile gaming is actually giving a good GDP to the country. But at the age when there is a lot in gaming as well. There is a design component, there is an animation component. So going into the technicality and just playing are two different things. So even if you're playing, you must learn the technical things of that game, that there are hundreds of people working to just do that animation for you. What is one thing that you think student or a youth must avoid or must do to get successful in career?
I think there's nothing like avoiding anything, because unless you try out something, you won't know if it's good or bad, right? I mean, you can learn from experiences of others and their stories, but then it's very important to experience everything, be it failure or success. So I think even for us, we try out different stuff in sports to if it's working for us or not. So having that understanding of learning from your failures, and then trying out different stuff and see what works and what not. And then the most important thing is, if something is not working well, you should know how to unlearn that. Unlearning is really important. So I think that is something everyone should actually have the capability to do, learning stuff from your failures and then unlearning the stuff that doesn't work well for you. So I think just see what is actually benefiting you, be it physically or mentally, or your knowledge, and then just work on it.
Great. Unlearning thing is really wonderful. It's a different perspective that I've heard today, that you need to unlearn which is not doing good for you. So unlearning pe hi agar main puchun, so is it easy? You have seen many athletes, right? Sports personality. Is it actually, do you see people implementing that, the unlearning thing?
Very difficult to do, but yes, you have to learn and master the art of doing it, but it's a very difficult thing, especially when it has already become a habit. Okay, so for changing a habit, it takes time also and focus. You'll have to, it's a very difficult thing, but then yes, at times you have to unlearn certain things. So yes, you must try to master it, but let me tell you, it's not easy.
So always be open to unlearn also, yeah, which is not. Yes. Yadvinder sir, your take on it? Unlearning something that you have been doing for years, and कहीं ना कहीं वो हमारे दिमाग में हो जाते हैं, नहीं यही ठीक है, काम नहीं कर रहा लेकिन शायद यही ठीक है.
वो हमारी परसेप्शन हमारे माइंड में बैठ जाता है, जो हमारे को अपने सीनियर हमारे कोचेस बताते हैं उसके हिसाब से फिर वो स्टूडेंट चलने लग जाते हैं।
Okay, and last one mantra for students. I'm really honored, Anjum. I'm here with you, and you have given few points that are actually very, very important for everybody. Be it a sports person, be it a designer, be it an actor or a performing arts professional. Wonderful. Just one mantra that you'd like to share. A mantra to success for Anjum Mudigil is.
I would say learning from your failures, because unless you fail you won't know how good success is. So you should fail and learn from, I mean, you should not fail, you should, if you fail, learn from it, right? And the best thing, and the other thing is, whatever you do, you should enjoy it. I mean, don't do if you don't enjoy it. If you enjoy it, you will be happy and you will be successful. I think that is really important.
So being happy or doing what you love is.
Yeah, you should enjoy what you do.
Enjoy.
जबरदस्ती करके मजा नहीं आता है. हम being an athlete, I used to study कई बार जबरदस्ती, तो मजा नहीं आता है कई बार. But unless you enjoy it, I think there's no use to do anything like that. So just enjoy and do good, and yeah, learn from your failures.
So your mantra for success?
Hard work and self-belief.
Self-belief.
Hard work and self-belief.
Yadvinder sir?
If you are 100% dedication, आपकी अगर dedication होगी, आपकी 100% होगी, definitely you will win with combination.
Wonderful. तो अभी जो मुझे messages मिले हैं about what they are learning is, okay, I'll just read out one comment that I have in my chat window, that it's hard to believe such a cute and a simple looking girl is a shooting star, and she has always made us proud. This is a message by Rihanna. Wonderful, Rihanna.
Thank you, Rihanna. So I would just say, social media, especially the media, how they cover in the newspapers and everything, it's not completely, but sort of very different from what an individual is. So never, just get lost in that world of social media, या हम कितने successful हैं या कितना कुछ जीत रहे हैं. Nothing like that. We are humans just playing for India, enjoying our sport, giving our 100% every day. So we are just simple human beings. Celebrity आप लोग बनाते हो हमें. So we're just humans, and I think, yeah, it's the world is quite simple in that way. It's not the social media saying how we look maybe in the pictures. Yeah, so it's very different.
Sorry, just now Saksham has written how modest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. So before we take your leave, I'd like to mention about our upcoming webinar, which is on Monday, 4 p.m. evening on our Vidyadhan website for designing. Yes, all the designers out there, you need to attend this workshop with Mr. Pankaj Sehjowalia. It's going to be amazing. And before I take your leave, I want to wish you all the very luck. And we are sharing here with that, just a pom-pom that you can imagine in our hands, so that you go win for the country, you win for the nation, and bring pride to our country. Always, always. Thank you so much, Sadhbir sir. I wish you luck for your team. I hope they proceed and keep on growing, getting the.
We have a match tomorrow.
All the very, very best. Because
thank you so much.
All the best.
And you have a match in the month of March in Delhi.
Yeah.
All the very best, and
thank you.
Best to Yadvinder sir as well, as he's also preparing for something. And yes, with this, I'd like to take your leave. You all enjoy your Saturday evening. Enjoy your weekend. Get yourself refreshed, but don't go out without a mask.
Thank you.
Do your socializing with the online platforms. Stay safe. Take care. I wish you all the luck. Bye-bye. Take care.
Dr. Satbir, thank you, Anjum ji. So nice of you. Thank you, Pooja.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.